Maybe I need some. Oh, it's gonna be recorded.
Okay, so hi everybody. We are here today for a special event. I'm Sue, founder of Sustain.ALL Lab and Chipset community, and we are here today for Tag der Clubkultur event and basically doing this podcast for like the subject belonging through club culture. And I have like special guests here sitting next to me, and I'm super happy also to share like the subjects and to find more um, personally and maybe also institutional what can we do better and how can maybe we move forward for bridging realities for the club scene in Berlin. Okay, so thank you so much for coming and being here. And maybe, like, first of all, like for everybody, I can open with the question, like, who are you and what's your personal connection to the club culture?
Hi, I'm Mariam. I'm a DJ, a radio host at Refuge Worldwide, also resident at Sahara, and I co-founded Kalabadi since a year. I was born in Tunisia. I grew up in Italy, and I've been living here in Berlin for almost a decade right now. My connection to the club culture has been always more driven by diaspora, the movement, and then also like the sense of belonging somewhere that is just like, yeah, safe space where I could find myself.
Yeah, hi, my name is Kati. I'm from Club Liebe. I yeah, advocate for more sustainability in the club scene for more than 10 years now. We are we founded an association and did many projects like Green Club Guide. We did many Green Club trainings and tried to um, initiate that the club scene is more sustainable. And so that's why I'm partying and in the scene for a long time as well.
Okay, I am Kos. I'm a musician, producer, around in the Berlin club scene for more than 15 years, doing events, running several labels. So yeah, that's my connection.
Perfect. Thanks so much. And also maybe personal connection from my side. So I'm here in the city also since 6 years. And when I first come here, I think it was 2016, and I was also like in this club scene, like in this club spaces, maybe also feeling the more belonging in those spaces, like also from my personal experience. So that's why I'm super happy that we are doing this talk right now. And so maybe like just maybe continuing with like also another question maybe for all of you, how can we maybe reimagine like club spaces as places where belonging is not felt but also actively created?
I think that comes from being intentional, and also just like not just saying everyone is welcome, but actually creating a space where everyone is welcome. I think that comes from a space that is built by who's organizing, but also who's playing, who's at the door, and who's at the dance floor. And I think this is something that definitely is coming right now from many different collectives, grassroots initiatives, and yeah.
Yeah, maybe additional. I always have the impression that the atmosphere on the dance floor or in the club is always created not only by the DJ and the guests, but also by the staff and by everyone who is there. Also, like the awareness and the people on the door. So I think they all together create this connection and with an openness and respect for each other. There is this belonging of this belonging is going to be created very naturally, I would say.
Mm-hmm. Maybe can you share like a moment when you deeply maybe experience this feeling of belonging and maybe in a dance floor, in a club, or in a festival?
Yeah, I think like especially like festivals, like the first festivals I attended and I played was very impressive because you realize it's not only like in a club you have like a couple of hundred people dancing and enjoying the experience, but on a festival it's like more extended with more people and like over a long period of time. So it's very nice to see that like so many people are committed to this.
Mhm. I think also like festivals that can like put as also like kind of like showing like some of them also political acts. So I think it's also like a space where like-minded people meet and they co-create like different experiences, and maybe not just like a music experience, but also like kind of theaters like or yoga or like so many things which like the community is bringing like from the parts. I think like clubs can be also maybe go on this way, like getting more maybe grassroots initiatives and like creating maybe more through this community is also like evolving their spaces.
Yeah, maybe that's why we also all like to go to party, because we like to experience exactly this yeah, like getting together of different things and yeah, sharing the moment and the experience.
Hmm. Okay, so maybe I will continue with Miriam, like which is sitting next to me, and because she is like bringing maybe different roles, like also being like part of the collective Sahara collective, and which we are also being part of today, like at the Tag der Club Culture event, also and at their event. So maybe you can tell me, Miriam, like which is like how is it like for you? Like maybe how can bring like collectives, or maybe what is Sarah bringing to the space? So what are you doing?
I think Sahara comes from like a shared need of having like a space where we could exist fully without having to explain or adapt or filter ourselves. And a lot of us have been part of this scene. I would say like all of us part of the collective have been part of the club scene in Berlin for a long time, but then eventually realized that they're not fully built for us.
Mhm.
And I think this is something that we try to do with Sahara, but also with Kalabadis and also Refuge Worldwide, which is like trying to center the Flinta experience, the BIPOC experience, the queer experience. And yeah, this is something that we try to do with these grassroots initiatives.
Yeah, I think this is also why I like founded back in the days also RHEA Kollektiv, which is like a Flinter artist collective, and this is was also like a kind of the question in me, like creating like the spaces, also not just maybe like everybody is welcome, but also like for like kind of giving the awareness also and sharing experiences like in the collective together, because maybe I don't know like from their like expertise, but they can bring it to the space, and if we are like sharing like skills, knowledges, and creating something together, I think this is like more sustainable also for Berlin, and also for like Berlin in general, not just maybe club scene, but I think in every scene, because this is like where I think like it's like the evolvement of this spaces like can start. And maybe I just like go to Kos. So you also bring like different roles. Maybe here like also as an artist, which I think you have also like different identities, like what you are building, like from with your different artist names, but also like having like building infrastructures. And maybe can you tell me like what does it mean for you also like this belonging as an artist, or maybe also somebody like
Mm,
from the label side?
okay, from the artist side, I have to say like I think it's like highly individual, so I can just talk about myself. So like if you're doing art, of course, music is like kind of a language, so you speak it with other people, so you invite other people to play instruments and do the stuff. And from the label side, kind of changed over the last years because it's like way more easy accessible, so everybody can set up their own label and release their own music. So yeah, I think it's very important that people come together and throw their stuff on the same pile, and not to have like 20 different single piles, because it's way more powerful if you are like working together. Yeah.
Thank you. So maybe I come to Kati, like, which is bringing like also sustainability and activism like to the club scene. So maybe because we also like define like the clubs also like as a space of like freedom, and maybe how this like freedom we can connect to sustainability and also responsibility.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. Like in the first moment, it might seem a bit contrary, like to have freedom and sustainability, but I don't think so because, um, yeah, I think the freedom is more connected to the hedonism, and we are like partying hard and trying to like take the moment, just live in the moment. And the sustainability and responsibility wants to like think for the future, wants to maybe not only live the moment but also go a bit further. And I think with the respect, we have a big thing in common. So in the club culture, with awareness and being respectful and mindful when you're with the other people on the dance floor, that's more or less the same attitude that you also have in sustainability, just that you're applying it on a wider scale, and you're just going to be more aware and also respectful for the nature and the belongings and everything around you, not only the people but like all the resources that you're using, for example.
Yeah, I think like it's yeah, since this is also like my not just my job, but it's basically like what is something like in my heart and my brain all the time. So that's why like I see there's actually like a big linkage, like where we have this like mindset of like sharing and like creating this space also like on the dance floor, but also like being of course like mindful, not just to the people but also to the resources, like, and I like how actually, so we are coming to the question to the club owners. So maybe I can like continue with you, because like you have like from your initiative, like you have this also some clubs like they are kind of they are signing something, or like, so maybe you can tell me a bit
Yeah.
more.
So from the community, we like went together and we wrote a code of conduct for a sustainable club culture. So the people who are in the scene working in the clubs try to find out which kind of aim or goals they want to reach in different parts. For example, energy or mobility or social sustainability or heating or whatever. So resources and waste management, for example. And then they set themselves their own goals, and that's what the community themselves said. This is what we want to reach, and it's a code of conduct, so it's not obligatory to already have all the goals in the beginning when you sign the code of conduct, but this is the aim or the goal that you agree that you want to get there. And we all know that all the clubs and festivals and collectives have different circumstances. Everybody has a different like building, has a different
Yeah.
background, and can maybe change different measures at different points. So that's why it's very individually, and it should just be transparent that you're going to um, aim for more eco sustainability and yeah, in your production, but also yeah, pay your staff fair and like have a good awareness team and everything, so that it's like a whole
They're
thing
all.
that you're thinking about.
And how many clubs like already signed the code of contact?
Like in the code of conduct, in Berlin we have about 20, and German wide we have about around 80 to 90 at the moment. So because it's a German wide network that we are like building, and there's about 30 festivals now that signed as well. And yeah, it's growing and
It's
growing, the
growing.
network.
Yeah, I think this is super, super cool that you are doing this. I think like for like it's like I think like it's also reference points like where the other like clubs they can see it, and I think maybe it's like fostering also this more sustainable impact in general. Okay, so maybe I switch to Miriam again, because I think it's awesome. Like maybe your role, because you're also like hosting a radio show, but you have also like a collective. So maybe like what is your kind of, how do you see like your personal identity as also with like the community identity? So is it like a kind of, is it like how do you navigate it? Is it like a kind of your communities or also like your collectives? Is it basically with your personal identity is also aligned? So this is yeah.
I think this is also why I actually really started by like hosting a show, and then I moved into like DJing, because I couldn't fit exactly in one thing, and I really wanted to understand like how can I express myself in the best way. And I think identity, it's really not binary, and it can move fluidly between like different things. So like for me, what is the most important thing is like I can bring my own perspective, but then I can also at the same time listen and learn from others. And I like, this is a question that I ask myself like a lot at the beginning. Like, do I have to fit to a certain sound? Do I have to fit into a certain aesthetic? Because like when I started, I was like always playing into a lot of like Swana parties with Arabic sounds. But at the end of the day, I did grow up in Italy, and I love playing a lot of other music. I love disco, I love house. So I can be everything. And like what I learned, it's like it's I'm always going to be open to learn. And yeah, like for me, what's as important is like when someone comes to listen to me or to listen to my show, there's no expectation. It's going to be something different every time. And I think this is something that a lot of artists should keep in mind, that you're not just one thing, and you're going
Yeah.
to keep developing. And you shouldn't just like sign an aesthetic or a sound and be like, this is who I am for the next 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like a evolving process. And so maybe like I just want to switch to cause, because I think like it's also maybe like for you, maybe you can also give your opinions. How can like labels or like artists maybe use their platforms maybe to make this scene also evolving? Like what is maybe the role like in your eyes?
Difficult question. I think it's like a process, and it's already running. So stick to the process and do your work.
Are you happy like in Berlin with the process?
So it's not that, of course, you're if you're part of it, you are somehow shaping it, of course, but you also have to react. It's not that things are always working out as you want to,
Yeah.
like regarding music, clubs, whatever. But you have to be flexible and somehow be able to adapt to the new situations. So like, especially like for me, because I'm doing this for more than 15 years. So for the first times I went to club, it was like €7 entrance and
Yeah.
€2.50 for a beer.
Yeah.
So you were able to switch locations like 5-6 times a weekend. So nowadays you pay €35 entrance. So where's the money? How should young people do this stuff? So of course, like new infrastructures will develop, and yeah, you have to be aware of what's going on. And especially like for me, Berlin is teaching you something different, that everybody can party, but usually like more people between 20 and 30 go to party, like like the most of the people. And yeah, that's why I think you always have to stick to what's coming. It's not that that is something that is done, and then it will always be like this. So there's always a process.
Yeah. Yeah, there's always like process. I hope like the process gets better, like more fair, like conditions are fair and more like spaces also like for grassroots initiatives like that they can come together and like they can really maybe co-create also like the Berlin club scene. So I think like those platforms are also super important, that they're also like supporting for example like Tag der Clubkultur. Like we didn't get the prize this year but maybe next year. Yeah, so I think this is like also important, like at least some of the maybe collectives are also with the award, like they can do maybe better also in not just maybe events, but they can also sustain themselves. So I think it's an important point, like sustaining financially, because I think like we are super many engaged people like in Berlin. But this is like the question how like we keep our engagement at the same time and how we like sustain like ourselves like financially, like if when we are creating an event, it's like just like organizing like everything, like so many different, because like it's of course it's not super easy, but the point is like how we like find really this also that it also works for us. It's not just like just preparing it, but then when you come out with the zero at the end of the day, so it's basically keeping you. But yeah, so but yeah, I mean I'm super happy that like we were wrapping like the different views. So I will just like maybe ask a closing like question. So and it's also maybe I already told my wish. So but it's coming like if you could make one wish for the future of club culture, how should belonging evolve in the next 10 years?
Um, I think it goes down to a few points for me. First is that like clubs should be completely open to learn and or like to listen to all the grassroots initiatives in Berlin, because it is like as you said, it's a work in progress. It never finishes, so there should be always like an open ear, or at least like a corridor where we can exchange our views. The second one is also make sure that it stays accessible to everyone. And I feel like from as also you mentioned, from like when I started here to now, it's not anymore sustainable for many young people to go clubbing, and it is changing. We are open to how it's gonna evolve, but then also we have to keep in mind that like it doesn't die, and this is something that we need to keep like that we need to keep alive. And I feel like many collectives and smaller events are doing that by keeping like the door prices to 5-7 euro. And yeah, I think it's the and third also like create a sense of belonging on the dance floor, and also to the DJs, the people working there. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can add a perspective as well. If I wish in 10 years, I would, of course, love that the clubs are more sustainable, like using renewable energies, and that the sense of awareness that we have on the dance floor maybe can also be an inspiration for the people in their everyday life. And so if because clubs have a big impact on the people who are going there, and the people are feeling very much part of the community, and are dedicated to collectives or clubs that they love. And if they are going as a good example into a future that is more sustainable, and they are communicating their values openly, then it can be a big inspiration and a source of or a little part of transformation for the society as well.
Yeah.
I think like uh, my wish for what this I think will happen is like all the other clubs in the world. I mean, we are like here in Berlin right now, like sitting on the top of the crust, you know, so having like this kind of meta perspective of what's going on. But like the rest of the world, the clubs, they are like maybe 5-10 years behind. So like in 10 years, I hope it's like a topic like sustainable clubbing, like everywhere on the planet. So not only here from our very nice perspective here right now, but yeah, I think that's my wish for the
Yeah,
future.
I think this was like a nice like wish to end because I think like this is like also very much like from my wish would be also this like just taking like seeing it like not like really creating this community and we push it like there with all of together like not just in Berlin bubble but also like for the world. Yeah, so I can just say like thank you so much like for joining the panel, sharing your perspectives. Like it was very delighted to talk. And yeah, and see maybe in the next episodes and see you soon and take care. And this was the also last day of Berlin Tag der Clubkultur, like club culture week. So we're also saying goodbye and maybe see you next year. Bye.